This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with Dr.RSSharma, Chairman, Empowered Group on Technology and Data Management to combat COVID-19. Interviewer is Suparna Saikia, AIR correspondent.
There is a lot of misinformation going around regarding the performance of CoWIN. So there are reports that people are not finding slots of vaccination on the platform. What would you like to say on this?
I think this is a very unfortunate thing that a very transparent platform which does not distinguish between the VVIP and an ordinary person, which makes everybody looks at the same data, same set of vacancies, is now, all kinds of misinformation being spread. There's no question of any, sort of preference or priority being given to anybody. So it's now why people are not able to get the vacancies, all of them. The problem is not in the platform itself. The problem is in the availability of vaccines of that particular age group, which is 18 to 45, which are being provided by the state government, and the actual people who are wanting to have those vaccines. That is the problem. So if you have a demand-supply mismatch of a very high order, obviously there will be very few people who will be satisfied. The rest person who are trying will not be satisfied. So that is the issue, and not the fact that some people are, sort of being prioritized and stuff like that. So it's not true.
Dr. Sharma, how susceptible is the CoWIN platform to hacking?
Well, everything is susceptible, but the point is that we have made CoWIN platform so strong and so, kind of robust from the cyber attacks that it is not possible to attack that the CoWIN platform becomes the victim of any cyber attack. We don't see that possibility. We have employed the best in class, anti-cyber attack technologies. So I don't think it should be possible.
Some people have raised doubts that CoWIN is a mass data collection instrument. Your comment on this, sir?
No, it's absolutely, bogus type of thing. There are certain people whose job is basically to condemn anything which is good done in India. They had done that in case of Aadhaar also, that it is collecting data, it is creating a surveillance mechanism, it is violating privacy. And that particular hypothesis or that particular assessment was trashed by the Honorable Supreme Court in their famous judgment in Aadhaar case. So similar is the case here. Now, just to, I'll ask a counter question. What are the information we are collecting regarding people? So we are collecting their name, we are collecting their gender, and we are collecting their year of birth. Now, obviously, name and gender are not some kind of secret stuff. Unless you told me that your name was Aparna, I could not have talked to you, right? I did not know. So you have to disclose your name necessarily for establishing any communication. Similarly, the gender is not really something very difficult to determine. And your age, date of year of birth is not a state secret. So ultimately, what is the information which we are collecting? These informations are basic information. And that they are required for the purpose of registration on the platform and for getting the vaccination on the platform, because ultimately when you say that I am X and you register as X, and when you go to the vaccination center, you have to establish that you are X. You are the same person who had registered on the platform. So there's no question of, collecting any data. All trash and all, in a motivated way being, done in order to target, our technology, sort of backbones or marvels which India has created in the past. And this is no exception.
Dr. Sharma, why is digitizing this vaccination drive important?
Oh, this is so important. Tell me, how would you have, managed this kind of vaccination program? We have done 20 crore vaccination and each person's, details are with us. Now, suppose you got vaccinated at place X and then you had to travel to place Y, Delhi, and probably you went to Trivandrum. Then obviously, you can't come to Delhi back again for vaccination purposes. So you should have the facility to get, second dose in Trivandrum. Now, how will you be able to get it? You will be able to get it only when the data is portable. The data is accessible from Trivandrum also. So, portability or mobility is factored in, and the citizen-centric, philosophy that citizens should have all the facilities of going from one place to another place. Also, a citizen which is being administered vaccine X in the first instance, he or she should be administered the same vaccine after the requisite period. Now, obviously, you can't ensure that. And in India, there are many people who will forget as to what vaccine was given to them, whether this was co-vaccine or Covishield. So therefore, it is important for people, for any system to remember as to what vaccine was given to that person. So this is also important. This can be done only when you have a digital, system. So digital systems actually make things transparent, remove information asymmetry, remove rent seeking, provide same information to everybody, and actually take care of the citizens' requirements of mobility as also the requirements of being given the same vaccine the second time.
So some people are also of the view that only digitally literate people have access to CoWIN platform. How are you addressing the matter of enabling India's rural population with limited access to the internet and smartphones to register and get slots for COVID vaccination? And what steps are you taking to make CoWIN accessible to this segment?
That's a very good question. And let me enumerate first of all, it is not necessary that you should get a registration done or the appointment done in order to get a vaccine. We have the facility of a walk-in, jabs also, which means that without registration, you can go to a vaccination center. And if there are vacancies, you can get a jab. And just for your information, we had a majority of the people have got the vaccination through on the spot, without prior registration or prior appointment. 53%, if I'm not wrong. Now, that's one part. So the system allows that you do not need to necessarily get an online booking. One. Two, the system allows as many as 4 people on the same mobile phone. Basically, if you have a mobile phone, one in a family, then all 4 members of the family can be registered against the same mobile number and, they can get the vaccine. So that also makes the system very inclusive. Third, all the common service centers of the country, which are 250,000 in number, and we have about 600,000 villages, so almost between any 3 villages, there is one common service center. Now, those common service centers have also been empowered to provide assisted registration facilities and booking facilities for the population. So that's the third matter. Fourth, we have recently opened the call center, 1075 is the number, toll-free number, on which you can actually do a booking and registration using that call center. So there are multiple methods to ensure that everybody is included. So inclusion has been one of the fundamental philosophies of developing CoWIN platform.
Can you elaborate for our listeners the entire process of registration on CoWIN? How easy or hard is it for the layman?
Right. Let me put it this way, that the CoWIN platform has got 4 components. The first component is basically registration and the reservation system or the booking system. The second component is for the hospitals to basically onboard on the platform and declare their vacancies and schedules, and also the vaccine and the price of the vaccine in case they are private hospitals. And the third component is essentially vaccination module, which basically records the vaccination events at the time of vaccination. And the fourth component is certificate module, which means enables you to download the certificate. Now, the only module which are citizen facing, one is the certificate download module, another is the registration and the reservation module. Now, registration module is very simple. You just have to have a mobile phone, a smartphone, and using that smartphone, you basically go to the CoWIN website, or you can have Arogya Setu application. Arogya Setu, there are 16 crore Arogya Setu applications that have been downloaded. You go to Arogya Setu, you just plug in your number, and there your account is created, or if an account is already created, your account is displayed before you, and there you can enter the names of as many as 4 people of your family, their name, their gender, and their age, the year of birth, and the kind of document they will be presenting before the vaccination center. So that's what they have to enter, and thereafter you can look at the availability of various slots in your area. And there also we have map. Map is one method. So vaccination centers near you will be shown. And second is you can search the vaccination centers in the availability in, pin code wise, or also district and state wise. So basically there are multiple methods of finding out the hospitals in your area. And then each hospital shows which vaccine and what age group those vacancies are there, and the price, in case these are private hospitals, they also say how much price will be charged. So it's very simple. And then, looking at that, you can book the vacancy. In fact, what we have done is that even for finding out the vacancy, you do not even have to log on to your platform. You can just simply, go to the Arogya Setu or go to the CoWIN website and straight away, search the vacancies available. And once you know the vacancies available, then you can go to your account. So basically, we provide an account kind of situation where every time you plug in your mobile number and you get an OTP, then you have access to your account. So it's pretty simple method. And just to tell you that there are 240 million people registered on the platform. So, it's pretty easy. One can understand that, if 24 crore people have registered on the platform, obviously it's not so complicated.
Sir, soon third-party apps will be able to integrate CoWIN API in their own apps and let everyone directly book vaccine slots. Can you tell us more about this?
Right. You see, all these 4 components I talked about, they are the components connected to each other through APIs. APIs are like connectors, some kind of plugs and, where you can just plug in. So what we had done from the beginning itself, we had said that these are the APIs and we had published those APIs. Now recently we have published the API policy, which means how applications, what is the process for developing third-party applications and what is the process for integration of these applications into CoWIN. So that way all the 2 components, which is the onboarding of hospitals and also the registration system and reservation system and also the vaccination system, everything is open and third parties can develop applications. So once they develop applications, they will be able to provide their own interface. However, it's important that all these applications talk to the same data because, suppose you registered through one application and then, you access the registration through another application or another website. It should not happen that website does not display your data. Your data should remain at a central place, which is CoWIN platform. So that's the way the whole thing has been architected.
Dr. Sharma, besides registration, what other major role does CoWIN play?
No, the major role the CoWIN plays, exactly I told you, the CoWIN records the vaccination, CoWIN publishes the vacancies, CoWIN registers people, CoWIN provides appointment to the people, CoWIN provides certificate to the people after vaccination. So these are many, facilities that from a policymaker's point of view, CoWIN provides an absolutely real-time data of the vaccination taking place, real-time data of the, the vaccine types taking place, real-time data relating to the adverse impact of the vaccines taking place. So, and of course, which are the underserved areas where we require more vaccinations. Those, statistics and data which is produced and which is a real-time data, you can go to dashboard.cowin.gov.in and then you can see all the data of the vaccinations happening today. Vaccinations happened since last 30 days. Or since the beginning itself, when the 16th January, the Honorable Prime Minister had launched the vaccinations. And so therefore, from a policy maker's point of view, it provides a huge amount of useful information where the policies can be fine-tuned based on the data. And we all believe in data-driven policy making. So basically, the more data we have, the better policies we will make. Suppose, we find that one particular vaccine is creating adverse impacts in people of certain age group or whatever other things. So the doctors can take then the call as to what should be our strategy going forward. So I think from the citizen's point of view, from the hospital's point of view, from the policymaker's point of view, from every point of view, CoWIN serves every sector or every part, every stakeholder in the ecosystem.
Dr. Sharma, thank you for joining with us.
Thank you very much, Aparna, for having me on your platform.
Thank you, sir.
You were listening to an exclusive interview with Dr. R.S.Sharma, Chairman, Empowered Group on Technology and Data Management to combat COVID-19. The interviewer was Suparna Saikia, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our website newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.